felt it.
Holy
Beneath the ocean's surface, a hidden world of colossal underwater volcanoes conceals secrets that could reshape our understanding of the Earth. Join us on a thrilling exploration into the depths, where these mysterious giants silently wield immense power, posing questions that demand answers. Volcanoes are like Earth's big giants, and they come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. Some are super tall and shoot out lava, while others hide inside older volcanoes, making new hot chambers. Each volcano is special. Some do their thing alone, while others team up. But how do we know if a volcano is awake or snoozing? Well, we check out history, listen to ancient stories in rocks, and try to figure out when they last blew their top. We keep an eye on any signs of life, feeling the Earth's warmth and vibes. It's a tricky world of hot surprises. Let's take a closer look at Sumatra, where it seems like the Earth is playing with fire. The Bukit Barisan mountain range totally rules the scene there. It's all shaped by these plates moving around a lot. Among the 35 volcanoes in the area, Toba is the star. It's a volcanic island, separated from the rest by a huge eruption that flooded lowlands way back. Toba's eruption was a real powerhouse, scoring an 8 on the explosivity scale. Then there's Mount Kurinci, reaching a whopping 12,467 feet tall. That's just one piece of Sumatra's volcanic puzzle. Anak Krakatau is another cool one, popping up boldly from the sea, showing how nature's always changing things up. Indonesia's got these incredible volcanoes, showing off our planet's wild and crazy beauty. Sometimes the definitions might be a bit confusing, but these ever-changing landscapes remind us that Earth's got secrets just waiting for us to find. On December 20th, 2021, Tonga's Hunga Tonga Ha'api volcano gave the world a big surprise by erupting. It was a huge event that sent ash shooting up into the sky. Visible even from the town of Nuku'alofa, airlines got a warning about the ash, and they took steps to be safe. The eruption was really intense. People could hear the explosions from up to 110 miles away.
Oh, fuck! Holy sh!
This went on until early on December 21st, 2021, but it wasn't over. By December 5th, satellite pictures showed the island had gotten bigger, like it did in past eruptions. The volcanic activity calmed down, and by January 11th, 2022, they thought it was sleeping again. But on January 14th, 2022, it woke up once more, shooting ash that went up to 12 miles. Then, on January 15th, it got even crazier, sending ash 36 miles high into the sky. The eruption's effects were felt all over, with loud noises reported as far away as Alaska and the UK, which are 6,200 miles from where it happened. It was even stronger than nuclear explosions. Experts studied the eruption a lot, using satellites, going out in the field, and even using drones to map everything. They found it was like the power of a hydrogen bomb. The research showed that the eruption made tsunami waves that reached up to 148 feet tall. They saw that the shallower waters near the shore helped slow down the waves a bit, but when they met, they got even stronger. They're still not totally sure what caused the eruption, but they did find some strange changes in the pressure readings that showed it was really complicated. People in Tonga were quick to act when this happened. Not many tourists were there because of the pandemic, and it was daytime, so fewer folks got hurt. This study is a big deal because it helps us understand how volcanoes can make tsunamis. It also helps communities get ready for these kinds of events. Tonga's 2021 eruption was a big deal that affected the local folks a lot, and it got scientists thinking hard. The things they learned from this will help us be ready for future events like this. It's a powerful reminder of how nature can surprise us. Around 536 AD, something really puzzling and kind of scary happened on Earth. A volcanic eruption like no other. This eruption was a big deal. It messed up the whole planet's weather for years. Imagine this, the sky suddenly turned dark, and it got super cold all over the Earth, and nobody knew why. Even now, we're not totally sure what caused it, but we do know it was one of the worst things our planet has ever faced. This eruption wasn't just in one place. It affected places all over, from Iceland and North America to Indonesia and South America. It even messed up the weather in China and the Middle East. People saw weird things happening in the sky in 536, and that was just the start of a global climate disaster. When the eruption happened, It sent loads of stuff into the air, blocked out the sun's rays. That made things really cold for a long time, messing up how nature works. Summers in Europe suddenly got super chilly, almost 2.5 degrees Celsius colder than normal. Can you imagine? It was like going back to the Ice Age. Then, more eruptions in 539 and 540 made things even worse, dropping temperatures another 2.7 degrees Celsius. This cold snap caused big problems. Crops didn't grow well, and there wasn't enough food, so lots of people went hungry. Diseases spread like crazy, and it was a really tough time for everyone. There was this horrible plague called the Plague of Justinian, named after the Emperor Justinian, and it killed somewhere between 25 to 50 million people. That's a huge chunk of the population wiped out. Nowadays, it's hard to imagine something like this happening, but the volcanic winter of 536 is a big reminder that Earth can throw some wild surprises our way. Figuring out what happened back then helps us understand how delicate our planet's balance is. It's a big reason why we need to take care of and treasure our home. In North Korea, there's this giant volcano called Chiang Mai that's a bit of a mystery. Unlike most volcanoes, it's sitting right on top of where tectonic plates meet. It's part of Mount Paektu, which the people there really respect. But here's the thing, it's hiding a dangerous secret. At the top of the mountain, there's this beautiful lake called Heaven Lake, but this supposedly sleeping volcano woke up in 1903. There were earthquakes for 3 whole years. The North Korean government got worried and started planning to evacuate folks in case it blew up. In 2013, a scientist named James Hammond went deep into Mount Paektu and found out some scary stuff. They put these solar-powered gadgets underground that measured nearly 60 kilometers long. These gadgets saw that there was a mix of gas, crystals, and partially melted rock just hanging out under the mountain. Some experts from the University of Texas even think it's one of the most dangerous volcanoes in the world. Its last big explosion was way back in 946 BC, and it was a huge deal, way bigger than the Tambora eruption you might have heard of. If this volcano goes off again, it'll be a nightmare. North Korea would be in big trouble, and China, South Korea, and Japan would suffer too. Lots of buildings would fall down, water sources would get messed up, and acid rain would ruin crops. It could even make the whole world cooler for a while. You've got to be ready for this because it could change everything. Now, let's talk about Alaska. There's this sleeping giant called Novarupta in a remote part of Alaska. In 1912, it woke up and caused chaos. Nobody knew much before that, but it turned out to be a massive eruption, the biggest in North America. People in a village called Katmai felt earthquakes, and 5 days later, boom, the eruption happened. It was so huge that everything went dark for 60 hours, even on Kodiak Island. Far away, buildings got wrecked, and the water became undrinkable. After all that mess, a huge mountain called Mount Katmai came up where the volcano blew its top. It's a spooky place now called the Valley of 10,000 Smokes because there's ash everywhere, and the wind stirs it up in autumn. People in Alaska worry a lot about this volcano waking up again. If it does, it could be really bad news, spreading ash over a huge area and causing a lot of damage, and maybe even a loss of life. These volcanoes are reminders of how powerful nature can be, even when it seems like everything's peaceful. We've got to be ready for anything because one eruption could change everything we know. Picture a world where the ground we walk on suddenly goes crazy, shaking everything in sight. Back in 1883, something huge happened on a faraway island called Krakatoa in Indonesia. On the 26th of August of that year, this volcanic eruption changed everything. It started with a small puff of smoke and dust noticed by the captain of a ship, but little did anyone know, this was the start of a disaster that lasted for 2 long months. This eruption was massive, causing the deaths of about 36,000 people and destroying a lot of villages near the coast. But what's really mind-blowing is how loud it was. It made the loudest noise ever recorded in human history. Imagine that sound traveling thousands of kilometers across oceans to places like Australia and Mauritius. As if the eruption noise wasn't bad enough, a giant wave called a tsunami crashed into nearby islands, wiping out everything in its path. This wave reached as far as Hawaii and South America. The biggest wave was a whopping 41 meters tall. It hit Banten, a place in Indonesia, the hardest, wiping out villages and causing a lot of people to lose their lives. Here's the thing, Most of the deaths didn't happen during the eruption itself, but because of the tsunami that followed. It left behind shattered families and changed everything in those areas. But even after all that chaos, something weird but beautiful happened in the sky. People in Hawaii, Australia, and Europe saw these amazing colors in the sky after sunset. Scientists said it was because of tiny bits of volcanic dust way up high in the air. This weird sky show hinted that there might be something called a volcanic winter coming. It's like a long, cold season caused by volcanic stuff in the air. It's a scary reminder of how fragile our planet can be when nature gets wild. This eruption of Krakatoa back in 1883 showed how powerful Earth can be, even in places we don't usually think about. It's a chilling reminder that our world can change in an instant because of what's hiding underneath the ground. Back in 1815, something huge happened in Indonesia. This megavolcano called Tambora erupted in a way that changed everything. In just 3 days, it caused a ton of damage, and sadly, more than 70,000 people lost their lives. But the trouble didn't stop there. The aftermath of this eruption stuck around for a long time, causing even more problems. Tambora wasn't messing around. It blasted out a crazy amount of volcanic stuff, enough to cover an entire state like Rhode Island under 57 meters of ash. To give you an idea, Singapore would be buried under 26 meters of ash. That's how intense it was. The volcano was shooting out materials at a rate that's hard to even imagine, 180 times faster than Niagara Falls. And it wasn't just the ash and magma causing trouble. The ash cloud reached up to about 43.5 kilometers high, way higher than where planes fly. This ash didn't just stick around in Indonesia, it got carried everywhere by strong winds. But here's something really weird. The eruption actually cooled down the Earth because it released some stuff counteracted the greenhouse effect. Sounds scientific, but basically, it made the world's climate go haywire. Crops failed, people went hungry, and diseases spread like crazy. The power of Tambora's eruption was mind-boggling. It was like setting off 2 million atomic bombs at once. The amount of energy released was as much as the entire United States uses in a whole year. This eruption is a big lesson in nature's strength. It showed how quickly things can change because of Earth's power. The effects of Tambora's eruption are still felt today, reminding us just how much our planet can shape our lives. About 600,000 years ago, Yellowstone Park, this stunning place we know today, went through a massive event that rocked everything on Earth. This was when the supervolcano there woke up and caused a lot of trouble, wiping out a bunch of life and causing chaos. Here's the thing, it could happen again, and scientists are pretty worried about it. When Yellowstone erupted before, it was crazy. It shot out lava that was 1,200 degrees hot, burning up everything in its way. The eruption wasn't just about lava though. It threw out a ton of ash that covered thousands of kilometers of land in what's now the United States. This ash cloud hung around for months, making everything dark and messed up. There were also earthquakes and tsunamis that added to the nightmare, wiping out life near the eruption spot. It sounds like something from a scary movie, but this was real life on Earth. The scariest part is that this supervolcano could erupt again anytime soon. Scientists can't say for sure when, but it's something they're keeping a close eye on. The big question everyone's asking is if we can handle something this huge. Be ready. We've got a plan ahead. Early warning systems can help us know when something's going down, giving us time to get out and prepare. Places near Yellowstone need good plans in case they have to evacuate. International teamwork is super important too. If different countries work together, they can share stuff and help each other out when things get tough. Investing in research is key because the more we know, the better we can get ready. Even though this supervolcano is scary, there's hope. By staying alert, doing research, and getting ready for the worst, we can make sure we're as prepared as possible. It's a real threat, but we've got the smarts and teamwork to face it head on. Now, let's talk about undervolcanoes. These huge guys have been a mystery for ages, hidden deep down in the ocean. They've been shaping the world quietly, making new stuff in the sea and letting out steam and gas. People have told stories about weird things happening at sea because of these underwater volcanoes, making legends about sea monsters and ancient gods. Scientists are exploring these underwater volcanoes more now, and they're finding a whole world of life down there. It's amazing how these volcanoes create homes for unique creatures that can survive in this fiery place underwater. The recent cracking open of the ocean floor by these volcanoes has got scientists super curious. They're wondering what secrets these giants hold and if they can tell us about the future of our planet. Exploring these underwater volcanoes isn't just about rocks and eruptions. It's a story about Earth's hidden secrets, waiting for brave explorers to discover. Back in 2018, something huge happened in Hawaii. The Kilauea volcano suddenly erupted, surprising everyone and causing a lot of chaos. This eruption lasted for a few months and changed everything in the area. The eruption was different. It wasn't just one big blast. Instead, it was like the ground cracked open in lots of places, spewing out lava and splitting the earth apart. This caused massive damage. More than 700 homes were destroyed, and entire neighborhoods were buried under hot, molten rock. People's lives got turned upside down. They had to leave their homes and start over, which was really tough. The eruption brought even more trouble. There were tons of earthquakes, everyone nervous. Big clouds of ash blocked out the sun, making everything look scary and dark. Plus, the Kilauea caldera, this big crater in the volcano, collapsed, making things worse. It felt like one bad thing after another, like a never-ending nightmare. Scientists were surprised too. They didn't expect the eruption to happen like this. The eruption was wild, with lots of lava, ash, and sulfur dioxide shooting out. But NASA and other scientists used satellites to keep an eye on things and figure out how it was affecting the atmosphere. They also got to test new tools that helped them measure how much lava was flowing. This was a big deal because it helped them learn more about how volcanoes work. The eruption served as a stark demonstration of nature's immense power, showcasing the resilience and fortitude of humanity in the face of adversity. It highlighted the sheer force of natural elements, while revealing the extraordinary strength and determination of individuals navigating through challenging circumstances. It serves as a poignant reminder that amidst adversity, communities have the remarkable capacity to unite, support one another, and rebuild. It underscores the resilience ingrained within societies, their collective efforts, innovative ideas from scientists, and the unwavering spirit of individuals propel them to emerge from challenges more resilient and empowered than ever before. A team of scientists from different countries got together to study the signs that might show if a supervolcano, like the big one under Lake Toba, is going to erupt. This supervolcano has caused two of the Earth's most gigantic eruptions and holds important secrets, could help us get ready for huge disasters that might affect the whole world. The eruptions from Lake Toba, dating back 75,000 years, crazy. They sent out so much ash that it could cover Switzerland in a 7-centimeter thick layer. It's wild that we haven't seen anything like that happen since then. That's why it's super important to figure out how to tell when something like this might happen again. Scientists did a big study that got published, and they looked at how magma builds up before these super eruptions. Magma is this really dangerous hot stuff under the Earth's surface. It keeps building up until it explodes out in a big eruption. But don't worry. The good news from the study is that the next super eruption from Lake Toba won't happen for about 600,000 years. But here's the tricky part. There won't be any clear warning signs. Instead, it'll be a slow and quiet process. To figure all this out, scientists checked out tiny crystals called zircons in volcanic rocks. These crystals can hold onto stuff like uranium and lead, and by measuring these things, scientists can tell how old they are. The younger the zircon, the closer it is to when the eruption happened. Older zircons help show how long the magma took to build up. Here's the really interesting part. The first super eruption happened 840,000 years ago, after 1.4 million years of magma building up. The second one, 75,000 years ago, took much less time, just 600,000 years to gather its magma. Scientists think this difference happened because the magma can heat up the ground around it. This keeps the magma hot and makes it build up faster. So, when the ground stays hot, magma can pile up quicker, which might mean more super eruptions in the future. The team of scientists estimates that there's about 320 cubic kilometers of this dangerous magma waiting under Lake Toba's surface. It's chilling to think about how quietly it's growing, showing us that the Earth's forces are sometimes beyond our control. Each of these supervolcano eruptions, like the ones from Lake Toba, was pretty devastating in its own way. There were huge events that changed a lot of things on Earth. It's hard to say which one was the worst because they were both really powerful and caused a lot of damage. Alrighty folks, that's a wrap for this video. We hope you find it informative and enjoyable. So, what do you think about the possibility of a supervolcano eruption? Share in the comments below. Moreover, if you appreciate our content and wish to stay updated on our latest releases, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell. Your support means the world to us. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.